Now friends, we will see the principles behind the construction of laser. There are basically three things, three principles. One is the absorption of radiation, second one is a spontaneous emission, and third one is a stimulated emission of radiation. What is the meaning of absorption of radiation? Usually the atoms or molecules are in lower energy state. By incidence of some radiation, then the atoms or molecule can go from lower energy state to higher energy state, that is excited state. This process is called as absorption of radiation. Now, in this case what will happen? Suppose E1 is the initial state of the atom or molecule, E2 is the final state. Then after absorption of the radiation, the atom or molecule goes from this lower energy state to higher energy state, which is shown here. So the difference between E2 minus E1 equal to h nu. What is the nu is the frequency, where h is the Planck's constant, as h nu is nothing but photon of that radiation. Spontaneous emission. If suppose the atom or molecule already in excited state and spontaneously it comes to the lower energy state shown here by the emission of radiation, then that type of emission is called as spontaneous emission. Itself, the molecule or atom itself by its own way, it can emit the radiation. Then it is called as spontaneous emission of radiation. The third one is a stimulated emission of radiation, where the atoms or molecules are already in excited states. Then by some particular frequency, when it incident on that atom or molecule, then that frequency or that radiation can trigger the atom or molecule and brings it from excited state to lower energy state, and giving us at a time the whatever may be the triggered radiation along with the difference between the two states, that gives a radiation. Both radiations are having the same frequencies. Then at that time we get, this is what stimulated emission of radiation. It is just like an process like amplification. A single radiation incident here and we get two radiations like that. So this stimulated emission is an important part of the laser, which actually given by Albert Einstein in 1970 in his theory, and that is useful for the construction of the laser. So how we know that? Light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation, and that is basically, this is a very important, stimulated emission of radiation. As I said that there are varieties of laser. Some are solid, for example a ruby laser which was designed by Neumann. The gas laser like Ali Jawan has been designed first. It is of helium neon laser, and such a way some other lasers like liquid lasers or dye lasers are later on designed. So we will see one by one later. Okay.